Thank you for tuning in to my channel, Bourbon, Whiskey, and Scotch. I'm Stone, and today's video you about to watch was shot at Oak and Match, a bar/cigar lounge located in Gamblesville, Kentucky. If you ever here, you got to go by, man. They doing good things there. We was blessed for them to tell their story, how everything came about. I hope you like it. So I've been coming to Oak and Match for a while now, actually a few months, and I became a regular. Now coming to a regular, I got to meet these two fine people, Chris, Anthony, became good friends with them. How y'all doing today?
Not bad, man. We had a good night last night. A couple of old guys working late and not getting enough sleep. Not too bad.
Now who did you hire last night, by the way?
Boy out of Danville.
Devin Bishop?
Devin Bishop.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Devin Bishop out of Danville was with us last night. We're both Greene County boys. That's where he hails from.
Okay.
He's a smooth guitar player.
That's what's up. That's
kind of
what's up.
late night in the life.
That's
Got
what's
a little
up.
birthday party going on. Some local folks, friends of ours. One of them runs a business here 2 doors away.
Okay.
And, we had a packed house, man. Everybody's having a good time.
That's good. I should have came back.
You should have, yeah.
I was practicing with my editing, and by that time, I had fell asleep.
Yeah, well, we outrank you in age, man. We can go where you can do it.
What are we drinking, man? I'm having an old fashioned, which is I think it's one of the staples here at Oak and Match. It's very good. I hadn't smoked, but I think I done drunk the smoke out of it.
Yeah. Once you get down to so far, yeah, you will do that.
What you have? What you got in your cup?
I'm having James Pepper Barrel Proof, James E. Peppers,
Okay.
out of Lexington.
Okay, I haven't had that yet.
Oh, you ain't. You've been through a
You're
lot.
down down Pepper Street.
I ain't had that one yet.
Been on tour there at that place. Checked the distillery out. They got hip an operation. They're down there in the old distillery district.
Okay. Yeah,
But they make some good stuff, real good stuff.
that's why I gotta start. That's what I want to start getting into is the distillery tours, man. I'm very interested in that. The distillery tours. What you got drinking? What you
He
got
is
going
Taylor
on?
Single Barrel.
Oh, man. All right, he went for the top shelf.
Yeah, I did have that one. I have had that one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's real good. I don't.
Love me H.
I had that one. I think the same day I had the Eagle Rare, 10-year, and don't y'all choke me out, but I like the Eagle Rare better.
That's fine.
But that ES Taylor is good.
I think they're are they from the same Nashville?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know. These are the questions I usually ask you.
Yeah, they are. I think Eagle Rare and EH are.
Okay.
They're both stored in Warehouse C.
See, you the man
Oh.
that usually is my go-to when like Brian or somebody asks me, I got to turn around and ask you because I don't remember all these things.
Man, I've learned so much by sitting at that bar. Just like when you introduced me to Old Granddad 114, I didn't know it was the same juice as the Basil Hayden. And then when I took shots back to back of one of each, I mean, it was just the 114, of course, is stronger.
Who you?
But you could tell the difference for other than the strongest. But it's stuff like that is why I wanted to start this channel and to get stories out like that. Speaking of stories, how did Oak and Match come about?
Oh my God, that is so convoluted. But you tell the story about the trip to Lexington.
The very first one?
Yeah, that was kind of where it all
Oh
started.
yeah. We just see, I was working in Indiana, driving back and forth every day, and I come across this little place, a cigar shop, which we've always smoked cigars, and we've always drank, and we'll shout out to Riverside Cigar Shop and Match, right over there on Spring Street in Indiana. We started going to that little place, took him up there, we got both fell in love with it.
Yeah, you made me go up there. He was in the middle of getting started on a house remodel. I was up in the middle of a house deal.
Oh,
Working, like we do right now, working late every night. He made me take a day off. He said, we're going to Indiana. I got this little place I found over there. We're
We
sit
don't
back-
eat the Red Yeti too.
We ate Red Yeti.
Yeah, that's right.
Ready and what?
The Red Yeti.
Red Yeti.
Mhm.
Okay.
Nice little place. The truffle fries are great. A little shout out to them too.
Steakhouse or something like that?
No, it's a little cafe right there on the corner.
Okay.
Green and something in Indiana, and over in Jeff.
Yeah, this man right here helps me keep my sanity. I got dived into things too much.
Ah.
Nobody's ever accused me of ever overanalyzing anything. He brings me back down and makes me keep my sanity from time to time. He said, man, you are taking a day off. I need one, you need one, and this is what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we did.
That's what's up.
Smoking, bro.
I got
Don Raphael.
yeah, Don Raphael. And I usually that's my first choice, the light one.
Okay.
This is the first one I had the dark one, and it's actually pretty good.
I'm a Maduro guy.
yeah.
I'm a Maduro. The Maduro wrapper, the darker wrapper, I'm a Maduro guy.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people like the naturals and a lot of stuff. And then usually the naturals are a little milder.
But all that CAO Connecticut blend, CAO Gold, you can burn your fingertips on that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I know. With this one, I inhaled it. I'm glad we wasn't recording. I almost lost my lungs.
Yeah.
But I inhaled the light cover one last a couple weekends. Whenever I came in here and watched the game, and it was smooth. So the light one was a little smooth to me.
Sometimes. They don't always. The darker the wrapper doesn't actually always mean that it's going to be that stout of a smoke.
Okay.
Back, 30, 40 years ago, that was probably the case. But now, like that Macanudo 97 blend that we got, very approachable cigar. Everything we got in our humidor is approachable. We've got mid to semi-strong,
Okay.
if you want to call it that.
The only strong one we've had is we got one customer, Mark.
Yeah.
Okay. Very first customer through the door. Met the guy during construction. If he's watching, big shout out to Mark Means because he's our man now. He's the chairman emeritus
Okay.
of Oaken Mountain.
Okay.
But yeah, he did give us. Which one was that?
The knuckle dragger.
It was it that one or was it
Yeah.
another one? We,
No,
me
it was
and you
that
was one a
knuckle
few times that we taken an opportunity to sit back here and enjoy our own lounge.
Twice.
Yeah, everybody said,
Whole
that
year.
was great plan. It's a place we love to go to. This is why we wanted to open this place.
Right.
We just got tired of driving 2 hours to get to us. We thought we could make it work. Open the bar, open the cigar lounge. You're gonna
It'll be
love it.
fun.
It'll be fun. we're coming up on a year anniversary, and we've had an opportunity, you and me, to sit back here and do what we're doing right now. Twice.
And that's been,
But once was with that one cigar that Mark gave, which was a fantastic cigar.
It was
And I
solid.
have a habit on a first draw when I first light a cigar, taking a little toke, a little inhale.
We almost
Oh, that one made me realize I was a rookie boy. I tell you what, that one, it was a great smoke.
We almost lost you.
But yeah, we did, yeah. To the point that you want to know, right? What cost
And so, since we own cigars, how do y'all pick them to bring them in here? Like, what measurements y'all take?
everything we've got in there, we've actually smoked,
Okay.
except for a couple acids. Okay.
A few by popular demand.
Yeah, I guess.
That's one my cameraman caught his eye. Coach G.
Okay.
This one Coach G's eye.
Now I will say, and that's true, he and I both never been really big into infused cigars. We do like the natural flavors. But I do have to say, and I'm going to shout out to acids, they're not a cheap smoke. They're not a cheap tobacco. They do a mild infusion, but they're still a good quality leaf.
Okay.
And that is what sets them aside
Let
from.
me get you a torch, Brian.
Yeah, we gotta get you. Oh, you got to keep it going.
Am I just making a cigar?
Hey man, smoke,
Cigar
smoke,
boy.
a good
Sorry.
smoke roll in the shot always looks good.
I'm sorry. I like cigars, but I am new to them, so I don't know the
We'll
ins and
bring you
outs.
around.
Yeah,
I just know I can't do matches. That match I always go out. I don't know if I'm breathing too hard or what. But
He can do the match. I've never been able to do a match. I always will do a torch.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, you know, and a torch is certainly quicker, easier,
Quicker,
faster.
easier.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's
There's
a
an
whole
art to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is an art to
I've
it.
seen that because I
Even with-
I be struggling.
Yeah, even with your match or anything, it's an art.
And the rule is to toast the cigar,
Mhm.
and you're not really lighting it.
So sit here like
You're-
this.
you're
You don't
toasting
ever
it.
contact.
Yeah.
Always you never touch that flame to your cigar. It's
pretty much just take the heat.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, I remember that.
And the torch is actually a more convenient way of doing it.
Uh,
If you really want to get down to brass tacks, cedar spit is
Spiel.
spill. Yeah. Spit. Yeah, spit's for picking up the meat pieces, right?
The skewers.
But, you know, that way you don't have any sulfur or anything from the match. You don't have any. So that being said, you know, you can get down to being really critical on a lot of stuff. But good wooden match, good torch, get your cigar lit. The trick is just don't burn that.
right.
Don't get it
Because
going
it'll
too far.
ruin the whole flavor of your cigar once you get down.
Right.
Especially if you get the wrapper in the flame and that first little bit. You never get the cigar never starts right. Does it? It never starts right.
Unless you. And it was funny when we first opened. We get all these newbies come in, and all you gotta do is come up and ask us,
Right.
and we would be more than happy, you know, to show you how to toast your cigar, how to cut your cigar.
Right.
What was that? We had that one, the Cohiba is like a $30 one.
Yeah, I don't
Cut
remember.
that son of a bitch in half.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he cut.
Yeah, I mean, he literally cut it in
Oh,
half. Yeah, he took one of our guillotine cutters and cut it in half.
Yeah, he cut it all the way to like the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so he did, and the ring was slit up on
Yeah.
it. But he thought you were supposed to, when you cap a cigar, when you cut it,
Uh-huh.
where you were supposed to get into the cap. Apparently, he thought that you were supposed to cut to the ring.
And he was sober.
Yeah,
But he was sober. He just didn't know.
But now,
So new.
yeah, but you know, we appreciate everybody's enthusiasm and stuff on it. You want to learn something.
Right.
We went through a little flack over the cigar things, but a lot of people learned it's not about nicotine addiction, or it's not
No.
about, you know, it's about just the art of smoke.
Right.
And it's a different kind of thing, you know.
Right. And I know when I smoke, I had that one with a few shots. It enhanced the flavor of the liquor.
Shots.
Oh, yeah.
To me.
No, that's a bad one.
Shots.
Shots one too.
Well, it depends on how cheap the bourbon is.
Well, I was on Prime, so is it?
Prime ain't a cheap bourbon. It's a sort of.
Oh.
Economical.
Economical.
It's an
That's
economical.
it. It's
I
economical.
love it.
Old Fitz has been around for damn near 200 years.
I love the Prime. But you also put me on the Prime.
Hey,
And,
a lot of overlooked bourbons like that.
It's crazy.
A
When
lot
you
of
told me the price of that, I was like, nah. It's
Your Old Fitz is actually
This is the nicotine addiction bar.
prior to 1992.
uh-huh.
Old Fitz is your pappy.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Julian Patton Van Winkle's first weed bourbon. He acquired Old Fitzgerald.
Huh.
It was not originally his mash bill, but when he acquired it, he actually
Weller.
added what he referred to as a whisper of wheat. Changed the mash bill a little bit, added the wheat, and that wasn't the first weeded bourbon, because he'd been doing some weeded bourbons already.
Well, actually, Old Fitz was the actual first wheat bourbon, but it was just Stitzel Weller.
It wasn't the first. He was the one doing a lot of weeded bourbons, but when he acquired the Old Fitz, that's when he added the wheat to it. Right?
But he actually just bought into that. It was when Pappy came up, and it was
He was a salesman for,
yeah.
and then he ended up owning Stitzel Weller and
they bought
being the biggest name. in bourbon.
Derby Day, 30 something. Can't remember.
It was after Prohibition,
Yeah.
33.
They bought it Derby Day. It's when they opened Stitzel Weller.
Would have been 34. Prohibition ended December of 1933. And that was everybody was drinking.
I gotta say, because
Yeah.
every time I do research on one of these bourbons, most especially the older ones, they always mention the prohibition. And it's like either I got started or started right before and then prohibition messed up or
Well, you got to
Like,
think,
you
in
know what I'm
Kentucky,
saying? But
when
I was going
settlers
back to
came
prohibition.
here, they brought their pot stills with them. You know, the Irish immigrants and everything when we came over, and that was a natural source of.
That was the natural grain.
Yeah.
Rye did not grow here.
That's it.
But that's the funny part about it. A lot of people don't realize bourbon wasn't bourbon then. It was still just distilled. You know, it was still whiskey. Okay, it didn't start. A lot of history on how the bourbon name came about. But one thing pioneers have a tendency to do. Okay, the Spanish call it aguardiente. We find a way to distill anything, any natural product, whether it be fruit or grain, wherever we go. One of the first things we do is turn it into whiskey. You gotta love that.
so
But corn was the predominant crop in Kentucky.
so explain something for me.
Okay.
'Cause I'm still learning and I didn't know. Cause you said what's the saying? All bourbon is whiskey, but all whiskey is not bourbon.
Correct.
Can you explain that? Because I hear it all the time, but if somebody walk up to me and ask me to explain it, I go no. But I know I know it's a saying.
Technically,
Right criteria to that.
yeah. You're going to get a lot of people
Yeah.
flag you for all this shit.
Oh,
But
It's an American product. It
Yeah.
has to be made
It
in
is.
America, United States, period.
right.
It is the native spirit of America, the United States. 51% corn on the mash bill,
it has to be.
mandated. Has to be aged in new oak barrels. The majority of which are white oak, but as the law states, it doesn't have to be white.
It has to be an oak barrel. It can only be used one time.
It can only be used once.
One time.
So these double oak and all that, how they come
They
about?
do that, and then they'll put it into another French cask. They will do that, and it's a French oak.
Okay.
They'll do that and let it sit for 6 months to a year.
6 months a year.
They're not gonna
The
last.
finishing of bourbons, and then there's nothing wrong with it. There's some good products that come out there that are finished bourbons, but it has to be aged at least 2 years to be a bourbon.
Okay.
Or
Whiskey.
it has to be aged at least that.
Yeah.
Now, where you get into the real criteria is the bottle and bond. Bottle and bond, 4 years.
And E.H. Taylor was the one that started that act.
Bottle and Bond Act of 1897.
Yep. E.H. Taylor was a forefather and actually started the FDA.
Well,
After the Bottle and Bond Act.
the Bottle and Bond Act came out long before the FDA. The first Consumer Protection Act in the United States was the Bottle and Bond Act of 1897.
From E.H. Taylor.
And Colonel E.H. Taylor pioneered that, lobbied Congress for it, because a lot of people were producing a lot of good bourbons. But a lot of people were copycatting it.
More people doing all the shitty.
Yeah.
And what year was that?
1897.
1897.
That was the first true consumer protection act in the United States.
Okay. So I've read the first people actually. Evan Williams was 1783, right?
Actually, that is the nod to his distillery, his license.
Yeah.
So he
His
got
federal
license.
license to be for distillery. That was 1783.
So he didn't start distilling.
He was, always been distilling. Way before.
So it's just legally.
Yeah,
So so he did
They gotta
it.
get it distilled. So they
Gotcha.
get taxed.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that goes all the way back to the whiskey rebellion.
Okay.
We were figuring out a way to pay for the American Revolution by taxing whiskey, and which is another reason a lot of people. If there was a whiskey rebellion over the tax,
Yeah, I remember you saying one time Kentucky
That had to be-
was built off this.
Oh yeah.
It was built off of this.
All bourbon was built this stuff.
Your corn, it back in 1800s, as much corn as you could produce is how much they taxed you on your product. And that still goes through I don't know, they still have an ASCS office anymore?
Good question.
I don't know if they do or not, but
For people who do, if you can answer that, comment.
Sure.
Comment.
Fact check us on some of this.
Yeah.
stuff.
exactly. It was me growing up on a farm out there in Summersville, we had tobacco banks. So it's in the same retrospect that how many pounds of tobacco you could produce. Back then, it was how many bushel of corn you could produce. And the many bushel of corn is how much the property that you were allotted.
Yes. And every year, you could get new land grants.
Right.
In the state of Kentucky. The only way you could get the land grants was
Is
you had
to
to
produce
clear land,
more
produce
bushel of
crops on
corn.
it.
That's crazy.
So,
Didn't know that.
well, and the big thing is, people were producing more corn than they could store. You needed so much to feed your family, you needed so much to feed your livestock, but you wanted to increase your land. And the only way you could increase your land was to clear the land and raise crops on it.
Huh.
So corn is what grew in Kentucky. And they also found out as soon as they got here and started raising corn, it produces an exceptional whiskey. A little sweeter.
I'm empty.
I'm almost empty.
Right, you know?
Actually, give me a.
Me pick.
Don't kill me.
I ain't gonna kill you.
Don't kill me. I'm on a
What you
budget.
Going first.
I'm on a budget.
My pick.
Dealer's choice. My man here knows how to explain.
Yes, he put me. Anthony has put me on plenty of bourbons, and I say that because I say it multiple times. So I got to say what Anthony said. When I walked into these doors, I was a Woodford and Penelope drinker.
Yep.
They was my dailies. They was my favorite.
Nothing wrong with either of them.
Love them both. Love them both. But as I say that, I am further away from Woodford and Penelope today than I ever thought I would be.
Well, here's the thing.
I just found better, and it's crazy because, but better. Well, I ain't gonna say better bourbon because they both are still good bourbons.
Of course.
But better taste of bourbons to my flight. Some cheaper, some higher.
Yeah.
But just like that Old Fish Pearl we was talking about, it's a cheaper bourbon, but I would drink it every day over both of those two. I just said it.
And and a lot of people are going to always choose what their daily ship is going to be based on the price point of the bourbon.
Facts.
Okay. And there's still supply and demand.
Right.
Supply and demand always is going to dictate what the price is going to be. There's weird price instructions in bourbon. You got your retail price, you got your market price
Right.
based on the supply, and then you've got your collector's price, which sometimes can get a little stupid. And unfortunately puts some bourbon out of reach for people.
Right.
In terms of whether or not they want to pay that kind of price for what could be a good bourbon, but they shy away from it because of the price point on it.
Right.
But the one thing I think Anthony and I have always understood, and it's the one thing that we've been trying to get, sometimes it's hard to get our hands on some of these good bourbons.
Right.
And they're allotted. And it depends on how much you're selling and stuff like that. On a bar like us, just in an emerging market, we're trying to do what the original pioneers coming to Kentucky were trying to do. We're trying to do the western expansion of bourbon
Right.
into the neighbor state. But we consider ourselves brand ambassadors for a lot of bourbon. But everybody asks us all the time, and you've asked us too. What's your favorite bourbon? That is an impossible question for me to answer. Same thing.
Yeah.
And it's becoming a hard
It's
question for you to answer.
because it's so many.
There are so many out there to discover, like this pepper. He's going to tell us what he's surprised us
I ain't gonna tell you
with.
shit.
Oh,
So I gotta-
This is the part where we got to figure it out. But here's a good note of history. James Pepper. Going into the old fashioned, so he's linked to the old fashioned and making it popular, and he's He's accredited with being the creator of the old fashioned, not necessarily so. Penn Dennis Club in Louisville makes that claim. But the old fashioned
We
goes
still
all
gotta
the
hit that place. We never had.
We do need to hit that. We've not been there.
Yeah.
Now, it is a club, so maybe, these guys are paying attention, and maybe a couple of good ambassadors for bourbon in the state of Kentucky will be allowed at least a guest visit. We'll see. But
What's up?
the James Pepper is responsible for distillers being able to bottle their own product.
Really?
Prior to
You ain't been
his,
down that street yet.
I haven't, so I ain't gonna be able to. I ain't gonna be able to do it. I ain't gonna be able to.
you ain't gonna be able to tell what that is.
Are we good on time?
We're good, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
But Pepper lobbied Congress and made it possible because all distillers had to sell their whiskey by the barrel to wholesalers and rectifiers who bottled it. So they had no control over what was happening. So Pepper's bourbon could be mixed with anybody. Oh,
That's smooth as shit. I'm sorry.
okay.
That's smooth. I'm listening. I'm sorry.
I like it. Actually, made me curious about what he
It's
said.
smooth.
But long story short, he was the reason that distillers were able to bottle their own product.
Okay.
And that was actually even before he had Taylor. Way before. This was in the 1860s.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. But that ensured that even though some places were still doing that and they were still kind of adulterating the product and adding everything from tobacco spit to black iodine to make a corn whiskey look that beautiful little amber color that bourbon has, which is one reason for the Act of 1897. But Pepper led the charge on that originally to make sure that we distill our product, we need to be able to bottle it instead of selling it to wholesalers and rectifiers by the barrel,
Right.
and God knows what they're doing. So that led the charge, and then Colonel Taylor, he expanded on it, got it where it did, but watching smoke this.
It's crazy because and I'm gonna do a tour. I'm gonna do a video tour after we get done talking, but you don't smell the smoke. And I'm like, past that door, even in this room right here, you don't smell the smoke. Coach G didn't even know where he thought it was a closet. He said, "Where we going?" What you smoke at? But he didn't. You don't smell it. And it's I like what y'all did here. Speaking of what y'all did here, how did y'all come up with the name Oak Mash?
We were drunk one night.
Was it afternoon, night, could be some baby. I'm one of those afternoons when we were doing our little crafting sessions. But you know, it's kind of backing up to the story you asked how all this came about. We circling back to that story. My man called me up on a Sunday morning. Now he's going back to the time when we went to match, so you kind of getting an idea where the match made a little influence on that.
Okay.
He called me up on a Sunday morning and said, let's go do a little bourbon hunt. So we did. We took off to Lexington. You know, nice ride up there. Good little trip. We started kicking the idea around. We've been kicking an idea around like this for how long now?
5, 6 years.
Long time.
Yeah. We just got tired of fucking driving, man.
Yeah, that's.
But that day, if you were going to put a day on it, and I give all the credit to the man because he said, "Get your ass up." Okay, we're going to Lexington today, and we're going to hunt some birds, and we're going to figure out a few things, and all the way up and talk about how would we do this? Liquor store, in a bar, what would we do? So we started brainstorming.
When I took you to Justin?
Yeah.
In Lexington?
First time I've ever done that. Very first time.
Justin's is a bar.
Justin's House of Bourbon.
Justin's
House of Bourbon. Okay.
Good selection on a lot of vintage bourbons. But he said, "You going? Get up."
Yep.
We gotta go.
I mean, he called me, man. It was a Sunday morning. It was not too
When are we
late.
going? Did you say?
No, I was letting it win, and I started
Like,
getting
yeah.
everybody even 9 o'clock in the morning.
No, when are we going?
Oh,
Oh,
whenever you want to.
When are we going? We can do
You
this
said
anytime.
vintage bourbon.
A lot of vintage bourbons.
I wanna go. Now, how much money do I need to take with me?
Depends on how many
man.
samples you want.
Yeah. Depends on what you're up.
Is it high? Is it high?
Yeah.
Remember that collector's prize we was just talking about? Okay. Yeah, you're gonna get into that
Well,
game.
give me to next year and we go.
But the thing on that is, we talked about that all the way up.
Right.
And then we talked about it all the way up. And we've been somewhat bit by the bug, the bourbon bug. Okay. And well, and then wanting something better.
Yeah.
So we talked all the way up and we had a few drinks, obviously. Relaxed, had dinner somewhere. Had what we were hoping, anticipating it's gonna be a good
Yeah,
cocktail.
Ramsey's.
Yeah.
They're in Lexington on State Street.
No downside to them. That's been a few years ago.
Edit that shit out.
Yeah, bartender hopefully got a little bit better. But we had, obviously we tested the old fashions that were, which is the benchmark cocktail.
Ooh.
And it was it was okay.
What the
It
old
was
fashioned?
okay. It wasn't.
Oh, we went to Bourbon Barrel Tavern. Yeah.
What?
That's
in
what.
E-Tap.
No. Yeah. Bourbon
That was-
Barrel Kitchen.
Yeah.
That was off Tate's Creek.
Yes.
Yeah, we went there. Me and my brother
Great
went
one.
there a while back.
Cocktail.
Yeah, they had some kind of infused shit with their old fashioned, like, yeah, tastes like sangria.
So on the way back, and then by the time we got to our house, we had a few bourbons on the back porch and we talked and stuff like that. And what we decided, okay, and this was a year before we found this place,
Right.
but we had agreed that day. We think we can make this work. We're gonna put our hearts and souls into it. He and I, either one have ever been one to back down from any kind of job. Try to, but you know what? Try it and do it, or try it and fail, but at least you try it.
Right.
Okay. So we decided then that one way, shape, or form, we didn't even know the name of it, all that had to come into it. But we're gonna do this. And it was one of those moments like, thanks for getting me up on a Sunday morning and telling me, here's where we're going.
Right.
Period. Because that
He
was
was
one.
working way too damn hard.
That was what I was already in the house. Still had a lot of work to do, but I was finished it enough where I was moved in. But we both, and he was in the middle of a remodel. He helped me way more on my house than I helped him, but I helped him some, and he had a lot of work to do too. But we were both working way too hard. But this is the man that always brought. I would work. Now, and I ain't gonna just say it about me because he can do it too. Work ourselves into the early grave. But I would work and just get into that mode and never stop, never stop, never stop. And they're my voice cruising on that every single time. Dude, slow down. We got to do this. We're gonna take a day.
Right.
I need it, and I'm smarter than you. You need it, but you won't see it. So we're gonna take a day. And that was when we decided that particular day was when it was decided. We don't know where, when, how, but we're gonna do this. And we'll start brainstorming, figuring it out. Somewhere along the way, we decided that it wasn't just going to be a liquor store. We needed to do something more like this. Liquor stores probably make a hell of a lot more money than we're doing. But the dedication that we wanted for this,
Right.
not just for the bourbons,
Right.
but for the cocktails,
Right.
which are more than 100 plus, they gotta be good, they gotta be right. Everything about the bourbons, we gotta be familiar with.
So, and it brings me to my next question.
Okay.
How'd y'all go about picking y'all's menu?
We made a bunch of drinks.
But what inspired you? Maybe
He
that's
brought
better
a
question.
bartender's guide from 1917.
1970. I said 40.
Inland.
1970. Okay.
Angelin's book.
We've got it.
Yeah,
it's
I up there. I think I got it.
He's got one. We got like several copies of it. We ordered it.
Can I take a picture of it?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Just the front. I don't want.
And we
I think mine is
adjusted.
still in my house, so.
Okay.
We got one here. I've got one at the house. He's got one at the house. He got one, and then I ordered several more. And we just, you can look at mine. Mine looks like a used textbook because he's full of like notes. Well, this is what we did. We adjusted this.
Erica got on my ass the other night because I got like 5 books up there that I'll just start making a drink and just pencil shit in and just go.
My only complaint about this man is he's a cocktail crafter from way back. Okay, so he knows how to adjust stuff. Most of the old fashioned, we worked long and hard all together. It's our number one selling drink. Our number two selling drink is a dessert cocktail that all the ladies love, and it was one of those Saturday afternoons when we were doing
Saturday
this.
night at your house
Yeah,
that we did that.
and we made our
Casey
first
said,
batch of orgeat.
I got this flavored vodka. Can you do something with that? It's good. I'm like, yeah. Taste it. I'm like, okay. It'd be real good with orgeat.
So we batched it.
Yeah.
Say the secrets. I'm gonna come up with it. I gotta draw the women crowd in, and I'm gonna come up with a Women Wednesday. That would be one of the drinks we could feature on here.
Yeah,
To bring the women. And when I only bring them to my channel, I also bring them in with their husbands.
This one is one
So-
that is undeniable.
So we will go into that story deeper
Okay.
for a Woman Wednesday.
We'll keep that one a secret for now.
Keep that a secret.
But
Y'all don't care.
the story to all this is my man knows how to. It's what we always give him a hard time for. Oh, he said, ooh, no.
Yeah.
Because when the idea hits his head, it's like when you hear ooh, more like that. It's like the light bulb comes on.
So speaking of-
he starts grabbing.
So was a ooh moment is when you took those barrels and did what you did with that picture? Those two picture frames behind the bar?
Oh no, that's just instinct, man.
Was that instinct?
What pisses me off?
What the same
The
one?
same
Yes.
one.
No, like that was just an idea.
How did you? I'm with him. How did you do it? And I'm gonna take a picture of it and let y'all see it.
I'm shaking my head.
And I'm gonna let y'all see it at this point in the video when I get my picture. But it's dope as hell. I thought y'all bought it somewhere.
No.
When he got to telling me the story how you did it, I was like,
We did
Ain't no
everything
weed
here.
Ain't no weed to it. You did that. I tried to help.
You
And I
got
just
clean.
pissed off. I was like, how the hell are we gonna take this many barrel staves and put them into a perfect rectangle and make this all work out?
It wasn't that hard.
How can you tell the steps? Can you explain what you had to do it?
A lot of fucking cleaning. That was the worst part. It was like 3 days of cleaning all these staves.
These when you see this picture, these are it's an actual bourbon barrel that he took. So this is what he said. A lot of cleaning for people who don't know.
Yeah, you had to get the charcoal off.
Right. So
That was the only part that I could do a whole lot of. When it came time to try to put the things
It
together.
really wasn't that big of a deal.
And these things, they're not small, they're big.
right, and you said
And there's 4 of them.
And you said none of them was the same
There's no
length
two
or.
sterile, the staves are all the same length, but there are no two staves with the same width or exactly the same curvature. And to figure out a way to weave them in and make it look like they're symmetrical. I've done cabinetry work. I'm a cabinet guy. Okay. As long
He
as
built the entire bar.
He
He
But-
built the bar.
Bar's nice.
I just
I
duplicate.
told him it was last week. I'm like, by every bit of house, I don't want it as big, but that middle part of your bar, if I got the money, I'm going to pay you to mimic that bar. It's a beautiful bar, man. It's a beautiful bar.
It's old school. It's old
It
school.
is.
And then, there's a funny story to that. You can tell that one in a minute. But we look at. There is a good story to this.
Now
And
he's
he's gonna tell you. There's a picture he texted me. That this actually does need to get told. But long story short, besides all the things and the engineering and the layout of the building, stuff like that, one of the things we decided this Prohibition era, we're really going into the history of cocktails, we're going into the history of bourbon. We need a bar that looks, even though we just built it, it needs to look old.
Right.
But we just
So-
built it the way we liked it.
Right. So was it a sketch? Was it just a
Pictures.
out
A lot of pictures.
Or pictures?
A lot of pictures.
Okay.
Old historic pictures of old bars from Prohibition and all that.
I want to hear about the story.
He's gonna tell a story, but anyway, we settled in on it. He showed me a few pictures, and I said, I think I can do that. I can build this bar. I can find
He
this
can
stuff.
build anything. He can build anything.
As long as it's 90-degree angles.
Oh, bullshit.
And you don't have a 90-degree angle on the stage. So when I started trying to help him weave them things together, I said, I'm out, I'm done. I can't do this. I'm not the creator. Okay, I'm the guy that can like duplicate stuff. You tell me what you want, I'll figure out to put together. You give me something that don't have right angles, And you gotta be creative, and you gotta look at something in an abstract view and figure out how to put it together.
Then for you,
Oh, I bought a Fuse every time.
see, y'all got gifts I can't even.
And that's
think
where,
about.
well, that's where he and I work together so well. Everywhere I screw up, he knows how to fix it. It's that simple.
You figured out what you're drinking yet?
No, I never had
You
it, so
figure out.
I don't.
You know what? Now that you mention it, I've been enjoying it, but I haven't tried to.
I never had it.
We've got 150 birds behind the bar. We've had so many.
Yeah, I like you got 2 of those. It's his first one. He ain't never been down that street either. It's a high proof.
That's
107.
that is another antique vintage bottle, squat bottle.
Yours?
That is what that is.
So
We have
the bottles
those.
behind the wellers that
Yeah.
you see.
Yeah, that's one of our vintage bottles. That is the antique, and I remember that one distinctly because of how much difference that old bottle of Weller tastes like compared to the new bottle. That's the antique 107 squat bottle. That's an old bottle. Well, I remember having these when we compared them side by side. The modern, the one,
New
the
is
red
like-
label,
Okay.
the Weller red label.
Okay.
But this was back when they were in a different bottle. I mean, these are old. But I
We
remember
say
the
old. And
not old like
it's
this.
not, yeah, it's not old. What we would think old from the 40s and 50s, 1940s and 50s.
These
It's,
are
it's an early 2000s.
Early
when they were
2000s.
doing that, like 04.
he looked up the date codes on the bottom.
Like 04, was what?
But that was, you know what the Weller bottles look like now.
Yes.
You've seen them up around.
Right.
They look different.
Mm.
It's amazing though, and that's a good
It
topic
is.
to bring up. It is amazing how bourbon evolves. Even if you're doing the same mash bill, there's. It doesn't really matter as aging seasons go on, and distillation seasons change, and the weather changes, stuff like that. Even though the mash bills never change, but you can go up there and you can grab our current bottle of Red Label Antique 107. And you can pour a little sip of it, and you take a little sip of this squat.
Man, it's different.
You wouldn't think you were drinking the same bourbon.
Nope.
Because it was
There's no way you can duplicate a distillation season. Or
Wait.
aging season.
agency. It's the way you explain how wild turkey used to taste.
Mm-hmm.
It
It's
is.
true. I'd like to get a bottle of turkey from like the 80s when I was a kid.
Because what I tasted now, what you explained back then,
Oh
I
God.
can imagine. Because it was a good bottle.
That's
good.
such a good, that is such a
It's good.
Yeah, you know what? You don't ever know if the Antique 107 today, 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
considering the cold winters that we've had, the pictures we've got from some of our friends that are still in the distillery industry that sent us pictures. Yep. Said, I've never seen this much frost on a barrel. Sent pictures to us from
Inside the rick house.
the rick houses. Oh, you remember back in the winter on those days was it's like incredibly warm, humid, almost like summer. And then in 24 hours, it went from 68 degrees to like 25 degrees.
Mhm.
It was like 68 high humidity and high dew point.
See, that's what makes those barrels so intriguing. And they do barrel picks. And it's just like what Bourbon Blanton did when he was up at the OFC at Buffalo Trace, which is before Buffalo Trace. But he would cherry pick those barrels that would acclimate to all that. And that's how Elmer took over as master distiller from Blanton. He came out with a single barrel. See, Colonel Blanton was doing that to impress all of the politicians and all of the
Garner favorite. I mean,
Exactly.
he was. It was Garner favorite.
exactly. Now,
With-
he
with
would
his
cherry
political-
pick a
Oh.
barrel when Elmer came along, that's when they did the single barrel. That's when Blanton's came up, 87, 88. It
Somewhere
was in the
around
late
there.
80s.
I can never remember
I thought
the exact
Blanton's-
date.
Yeah,
But
I thought Blanton's was older than that, but it's not really
yeah,
not.
no, yeah, it was all
Except for like Brian. When was you born?
87.
Okay, well,
yours. He's on.
yeah.
Got fucking shoes on it.
Yeah.
We prepared the shoes. We prepared the shoes.
But that is true.